Today, I am going to be taking you through collaborative workflows in Focus and Hub, so parts of the Catapult Pro Video Suite. To demonstrate all those workflows to you today, I am going to be using something that we refer to as a live simulation session in Focus. On the left-hand side here, we have our video player, and in my session, I currently have two different video angles, so I have broadcast and tactical, so I can jump between the single view and the double view at any moment. I could go, if I had 4 or more video angles, I could also go to quad view to see 4 different angles simultaneously. At the bottom, obviously, you have our timeline, which at the moment is empty. And on the right-hand side, we have our tagging template. We have a corner here and a shot off target. So now as a user, I'm able to go to my tagging template and say, okay, this was an off target shot. It was a header from a set piece. It went wide and it was sort of from this area, let's say. So now you can see that all of those labels got attached to my tag. So again, every other person who is connected to this session will be able to see this tag and those labels on their device straight away. So I have another device set up just next to me. I can say, okay, so we had a corner there, and this corner was delivered roughly to the B3 area on my template. So you can see that on this device, this tag has appeared straight away, and I can review it and I can see the video for it. And I can see all the labels that I just attached. Now, if I want to add an extra layer of information to my tag, I can also utilize the notes functionality that we have in Focus. So when I press Command and N, that is going to give me a pop-up window that will allow me to add a note to that default note category that I have here. Another really nice thing about Focus is that in live scenarios, you do have access to all the functionality that you would have post-match as well. You can utilize the presentations module during live sessions. So if I select my tag here on the timeline, I can just press Command and P to add this tag to a presentation. And then when I jump to my presentations window, I can utilize the full functionality that we have inside of presentations in Focus. Since we are talking about collaborative workflows, what I would like to mention here is that all the presentations that you have in Focus can actually be shared during a live session. So you can see this sharing off and on button that I have here in the top left. When I click on this button, this presentation will now enable the sharing. So that means that every other person that is connected to my Focus server will just be able to go open presentation, and this presentation will be there available for them to access. If you want to take this workflow to the next level, you do actually have the capability of publishing all the sessions, all the presentations that you have in here to the hub in real time. So you can see that this presentation has now been uploaded. So every other member of my organization that I decide to share this presentation with will have access to this presentation. Let's now talk about post-match workflows. If you want to export tags directly from the timeline and share it with some people, you can do it as well. So if you want to just export a single tag, you can just click on it and just click this export tag button, which is going to give you an MP4 file for this specific tag. Finally, which actually is an incredibly powerful thing, you can push the entire session to the hub. So this session can be exported as a session package, which again is going to be a standalone file, very useful in scenarios where you don't have access to the internet. Maybe your upload speed is very slow, but you need to share that session with somebody. You can just click this export package button, and that's going to give you a standalone session with all the tags and all the video that you have in this session. Essentially, you can access that data that you have in here alongside with the video from anywhere you want, as long as you have access to the internet, which again, this is a very powerful workflow. When it comes to the post-match collaborative workflows, well, we have to talk about the hub, which is the key element of all the collaborative workflows in the Catapult Pro Video Suite. The hub looks like this. And for this demonstration, we are going to be using the desktop version of the hub, which is available on Mac and Windows. So you have an iPad version, but you also have mobile versions for iOS and Android as well. On desktop, what you get is a couple of different sections. So you have your collections, you have your presentations, sessions, and individual clips as well. So when I click on that, what we will be able to see is this test presentation that I created during that live session. The hub actually gives me the option to edit that presentation in the exactly same way as Focus would. This means that I can share a presentation with somebody, and that person doesn't even have to use Focus to view that presentation, but also to edit that presentation on their own device. So in here you can see that on this clip I can just say, okay, I want to add a comment, press OK, that comment will get added, and then other people will get notified that I added this comment. They can also go in here and then reply to my comment, like so, and essentially we can have a conversation about a specific clip within my presentation. So you can see in here that I have this session that we were working on earlier. So you have this panel here on the left hand side, which you can play with. You can actually resize it if you want. If you're a coach, a session can be pushed to the hub, and then you can just jump in here and just review this session very, very easily. If you imagine that you store every single session that you have in the hub, so in the cloud, this then allows you to query that database to search for specific tags that you have. So if I just click the sharing button here, you can see that I'm the owner of this session. Now I can actually choose to share this session with a specific group that I have set up in my organization, or with some of the individual people that I have in my organization as well. Now, when it comes to setting up of the groups, in here we have a pretty simple organization tree set up. I have the everyone group, and below that we have the first team, academy with 2 branches, and then the media on the right hand side as well. Remote presentations effectively allow you to create an event that other people can join, which then will allow you to take over the control over their devices. So essentially, if I just click this start presentation button, I can just give it a title, and when I press OK, this will now start. Every person who has access to this presentation will be able to see this red dot, and then when they click that, they will be able to join my presentation. We developed this feature when the pandemic first hit, because a lot of teams and organizations had the need to be able to review their video in high quality in real time, and they wanted something better than Zoom screen sharing. As you can see, there are a lot of workflows you can utilize when looking at Focus and Hub, both live and also post-match.